Wiggle. Let me see you wiggle your whole body. Wiggle. Wiggle. Shake your egg up. Way down by your feet. Shake it in the middle by your belly button. Shake it high. Shake it in the middle by your belly button. Okay, look at the color of your egg. If you have a blue egg, put it in the bucket. If your egg is blue. Oh, boom, missed it. Yellow. Who's got yellow? Who's got a yellow egg? Put your yellow egg in here. Yeah. Oh, missed. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry, thank you for picking that up. Thank you. Wait a minute. I haven't said red yet. How about green? Who's got green? Green egg. Green egg, green egg, green egg. Here, put it in the bucket. Put it in the bucket. Oh, you missed. Good job. How about purple? Who's got purple? You have purple? Yeah, you do. Put it in there. How about red? Who's got red? That's you. Put it in there. How about pink? Who's got a pink egg? Oh, I should have known. Okay, we're going to start with our alphabet today. What's the first letter of the alphabet? A. A is the first letter. What's the last letter? Z. What is that letter right there? P. How about that one? What's that letter? M. How about that one? What's this letter? C. What about that one? X. X marks the spot. We're going to start with A and we're going to end with Z. Wait, we're going to do it together. Okay, here we go. We're going to start together. We're going to start with A. We're going to end with Z. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Good job tapping your foot. Pat your back. You're so smart. This time we're going to count. We're going to count with our fingers, so shake them out. Oh, my fingers are stiff today. I think I'm getting old. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Keep your 5 up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double wave. Good job. Give yourself a pat. This time we're going to do Spanish, okay? We're going to count to 10 in Spanish. What is 1 in Spanish? Uno. Here we go. You ready? If you don't know it, say it right after I do, and then you'll learn it real quick. Here we go. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, yes, double way. Good job, good job. Give yourself a double back. And a squeeze. Oh, that's a good way to start story time. Do you have a jack-o'-lantern at your house yet? You don't?
I don't.
You have pumpkins? I have pumpkin in my house that's on the counter waiting to be on the soup. Whenever I have an hour to stay home to fix it. You have pumpkin seeds? Do you eat your pumpkin seeds out of your pumpkin or go garden into the jack-o'-lantern? Were the pumpkin seeds good? Did you like them? Oh, you didn't eat them all yet? So, what happens to the pumpkin when it sits outside and it gets so cold out at night? What does he do?
I don't know.
If you put a candle in there, but if you go that way, down the road that way, there's a house down that way. I've been looking at their jack-o'-lanterns for about 2 weeks now. When I went by yesterday on my way home, their faces were all shriveled up because it got cold at night, and it made the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern shrivel all up. When Tim carved his first pumpkin, it was fierce and funny and just perfect. A jack-o'-lantern this good deserved a name, so Tim gave him one, and he called him Jack. Long after the best trick-or-treat candy was eaten, Tim still kept Jack. At night, when a candle made Jack's face dance on the wall and filled the dark with warm pumpkin smells, Tim felt Jack was almost magic. Yet too soon, the spell was broken. Look, that looks like the jack-o'-lantern, but that's not the jack-o'-lantern, is it? That's the jack-o'-lantern. But he put the candle inside, and on the other side is his face, and it's glowing on the wall. Kind of looks scary, don't you think? This pumpkin is beginning to rot, announced Mom. It's time to throw it out. Tim knew it was useless to argue with his mom, because she's always right. Just like your mom's always right. He carried Jack to the garden, which was filled with the brown ghosts of last summer's plants. A dead garden is better than a trash can, thought Tim. Still, it made him sad to leave Jack outside and alone. There he is in the garden. Uh-oh. Whenever chores or play brought Tim to the garden, he looked at Jack, and every time Jack was different. He became wrinkled, and his fierce smile began to look silly. Look, he looks like he doesn't have no teeth, like that. His face is all sunk in. Mold spread over Jack's bright orange skin, and as the days turned colder, Jack grew flatter. What's happening to Jack? What's happening to him? Yeah, he's getting rotten. He's starting to get... Oh! Is he still there?
No.
Sorta. Look how flat he is. Winter began, and soon Jack was hidden beneath the snow, and Tim forgot about him. The cold, heavy jacket days came. Snowmen and sliding days, indoor days, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's. And when all these days had passed and March winds melted the snow, Tim found Jack still in the garden. Look at him. Look how rotten he is. He's all rotten, isn't he? There wasn't much left, just a faded and crumpled pumpkin skin, a stem, see the stem right there, and a few seeds. Jack's Halloween magic was a distant memory now. Tim's... You can. You have to have a special pie pumpkin for that. It tastes better that way. Tim scraped a thin blanket of earth over the last bits of his pumpkin. Goodbye, Jack, he whispered. So he took dirt and covered up Jack. What's inside of Jack? What? Uh-oh. So there's seeds inside of Jack, and he put dirt over top of him. What do you think is going to happen? Oh, you think the seeds will grow? Let's see. When spring turned barefoot warm, a tiny sprout appeared where Jack had been. Tim found it, and guess what it was?
A pumpkin.
Well, my goodness. In the days that followed, Tim weeded and watered and watched the sprout. Slowly and steadily, the plant changed and grew. It branched and spread a web of vines over the ground, but no pumpkins appeared. The days turned hot and flowers opened on the plant each morning, yellow stars that twisted shut forever in the afternoon. Still, there were no pumpkins. Finally, Tim found a little green ball growing behind a crumpled blossom. What is it? A pumpkin. Tim let out a whoop and ran to show his mom. By August, the plant had spilled out onto the lawn. Tim's favorite game became pumpkin hunting. He carefully waded among the leaves and searched for green pumpkins like hidden treasures. Look how big that plant got. That's a really big plant, isn't it? Look, right there. What's that right there? And on the end of the flower is a pumpkin. That's right. When the plant blooms, it grows a pumpkin from the blossom. School began again and the days cooled, and Tim had less time to visit in the garden. When he did, the pumpkin plant seemed tired. There were a few new leaves, and the old ones, tattered, were long hid the fat green pumpkins. Then one October morning, Tim woke to see frost coating the garden. The frozen plants seemed changed to pale blue. After school, Tim discovered what the frost had done. The pumpkin plant's leaves were as limp as wet paper. The plant was dying. Tim searched among the withered leaves for the unripe pumpkins. He picked them and put them on the front porch, hoping for one more change. So, what color are the pumpkins when he picked them?
Green.
They're kind of green. Some of them are a little bit orange, but some of them are like orange, but they still have green on them. What's going to happen to them while they sit there?
They're going to get cold and smushed.
They're going to get cold and smushed. By Halloween, the pumpkins had ripened to a bright orange color. There were many, for the plants had been generous. Tim was generous too. What's it mean to be generous? What do you think that means? He had a whole bunch of pumpkins, and what did he do? Did he keep all the pumpkins for himself?
No.
No, what did he do?
He gave them to other people.
Yeah, he was generous, and he shared what he had with the other kids. Could he have kept all the pumpkins for himself?
No.
They belonged to him. He could have kept them for himself, but since he was generous, he shared with everybody else. From jack-o'-lantern to seed to pumpkin again, the circle was almost complete. Now it was time for Tim to do his part. He gave his pumpkin a face. It smiled at him in a fierce and funny way. Tim smiled too and said, "Welcome back, Jack." So he ended up with his jack-o'-lantern back, didn't he? Let's see, there's one more page. The pumpkin's back. Okay, listen, we're going to do something fun, and we're going to count from 10 to 1, and we're going to do a pumpkin song. Put that on there, Miss Lisa will be able to keep track. That's why I put those numbers on there. At about 5, I forget where I'm at. So, put your fingers up like this, because we're going to start with 10. You ready? 10 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, put your arms up like the moon. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. Wiggle your fingers. They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right, and then they close their eyes and say good night. Look, let's take one off. How many is there now? I take one off. there's 9. So 9, that means you have to hide a finger. 9 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and they say, good night. How many do we have now? 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready? We should have 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Remember, 5 and 3. Got it? They wiggle to the left, and then they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and they say good night. What do we got? 7. So 5, 6, 7. So 5 and 2. 5 and 2. Got it? Here we go. 7 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes, and they say, good night. What you got? 6. So 5 and 1 make 6. 5, 5. Give me a wave, give me a wave, give me a wave. There you go. And 1. Good job. Here we go. 6 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, put your hands up, moonlight. They wiggle just so. 5 and 1. 5 and 1. There you go. You ready? They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and they say good night. What do you got? This one's easy. 5. 5. 5. Give me a wave. Give me a wave. Give me a wave. Good job. Ready? 5 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and say good night. What you got? How many's left? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? 4 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and say good night. How many's left? 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Put your fingers up. Let me see. 3. Look at me. 1, 2, 3. Good job, good job, good job. Ready? 3 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and then they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and they say good night. How many's left? 2. 1, 2. Ready? 2 little pumpkins sitting in a row. When they see the moonlight, they wiggle just so. They wiggle to the left, and then they wiggle to the right. And then they close their eyes and say good night. How many's left? 1. Oh, 1 lonely pumpkin sitting in a row. When he sees the moonlight, he wiggles just so. He wiggles to the left, and he wiggles to the right. And then he closes his eyes and he says, good night. Good job. You did a good job. Stumpkin. Yeah, this is Stumpkin. Look at him. He doesn't have a stem. Look at it. Aren't pumpkins supposed to have a stem? I wonder what happened to his stem. Maybe. Oh, it might have busted off. Have you ever busted off a pumpkin stem? Yeah, I have. Sometimes if you pick it up by the stem and it's heavy, the stem will just pop right off. It was a few days before Halloween, and outside a little shop in the big city, the shopkeeper placed some pumpkins on the shelves. Look, there's a bunch of pumpkins out there. Uh-oh. Is that a pumpkin? He looks kind of funny if he's a pumpkin, doesn't he?
He's old.
What do you, oh, he's old. Yeah, he kind of looks old. I think it's a squash.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's a pumpkin and a fish.
Squash have stems. Because they grow on vines. A girl came and looked at the pumpkin, and when she was done, she picked one up and carried it away. The other pumpkins worried after their friend. Uh-oh. But later they spotted him across the street and way up high. Look, the little girl lived across the street from where she bought the pumpkin, and they could see their pumpkin friend up in the window. But he's not just a pumpkin anymore. What is he? He's a jack-o'-lantern now. What makes him a jack-o'-lantern? Does he have face? He was a jack-o'-lantern. Beneath his lovely stem, he now had two triangle eyes. Look, his eyes are triangles. What shape is his nose? A circle. And he had a new home. A perch all to himself high above the street. What more could anyone want, thought the pumpkin. They were thrilled for their friend and thrilled that they too might one day be a jack-o'-lantern. They were all happily lost in thought, imagining themselves as jack-o'-lanterns, when one pumpkin realized something was very wrong. Uh-oh. Which pumpkin is wrong? Which one has something wrong with it? Which one is it? That one? This one? This one? Oh, that one. That one doesn't have a stem, does it? Oh no, poor little pumpkin. Poor little stemless pumpkin with just a stump, not a stem. Poor little Stumpkin.
He doesn't have enough.
He doesn't. There was plenty to like about Stumpkin. He was a handsome pumpkin, as orange as a traffic cone, and he was as big as a basketball and twice as round. Stem, schlam, who knows? Some people might even prefer a stemless pumpkin. Would you rather have a pumpkin with no stem? Nah, me neither. Days passed and more people came, and some pumpkins left. Some pumpkins stayed. Is Stumpkin still there?
Yeah.
It wasn't yet Halloween, and there were still plenty of windows that needed jack-o'-lanterns. Who would be lucky enough to take home Stumpkin, as orange as an orange, as big as a basketball, round? He was very nearly the perfect pumpkin, very nearly, truly. The next day, new people came. Do you think anybody's going to buy him?
Yeah.
And the shopkeeper's cat settled on top of Stumpkin's smooth top. Then it happened. A brilliant baby chose Stumpkin until a bad dog ruined it, and the baby changed its mind. Oh, someone almost bought him. Oh no. Who's he left there with?
Old pumpkin.
He's not an old pumpkin. What is that? It's a squash. He's left there with a funny looking squash.
It's a squash.
Oh well, thought Stumpkin.
It's an old squash.
It was the day of Halloween and there were still a few empty windows. Two were left on the shopkeeper's shelf. A boy came, and when the boy left, guess who's going to be left?
The old one.
No, Stumpkin remained. The gourd, sorry, it was a gourd, not a squash, thought Stumpkin. I guess that's that, he said. He's really sad. Why is he sad?
Because no one got it.
No one wants him, that's right. It was Halloween night and the shop had closed. There were no more days left. Uh-oh, the shopkeeper scooped up poor Stumpkin and carried him off. So he didn't get left behind. So he went home with the shopkeeper. Oh, what shape is that? Is that his nose?
Yes. Yeah.
You think so? Oh, what are those? Eyes? Oh, Stumpkin wouldn't be getting a window, and he wouldn't be getting a new home. Look, there's the gourd, and he even has a face. He already had a home.
Wait, where's the
Where is he? The gourd is in this one.
Yeah.
He does that.
He does. Are you impressed by that? And that makes Stumpkin very happy. Look, is Stumpkin still a pumpkin or is he a jack-o'-lantern?
A jack-o'-lantern.
He is a jack-o'-lantern, and he's sitting by what?
A cat.
And he's passing out candy. So where's he at? He's doing what? When do you get candy?
At the parade.
Well, you do get candy from the parade, but when you dress up in your costume and you come by the library and you see Miss Lisa standing out there in her costume, what night is that? It's a trick or treat. That's right. He got to help with trick or treat. He got to help pass out trick or treat candy. So listen, we're going to do Play-Doh today. So you need to put your cushions away, find a seat at the table.